KD went ahead and dropped 43 points on 50% shooting, and that wasn't even the most impressive stat line of the night. Let's talk about it. So, yesterday marked the 18th anniversary of Kobe's legendary 81-point game, and it seemed like everybody in the NBA had the spirit of the Mamba surging through their veins. Starting off with Kevin Durant, who had an all-time great performance against the Bulls, coming down to the wire, scoring 43 points on 50% shooting. He was like 45% from three. Unreal. And then he hit the game winner to seal the game for the Suns. These last couple stretches of games for KD have been really spectacular. It's funny that these are sort of happening now. Ever since he made those comments about himself being in the GOAT debate, a lot of people don't think that he should be in the GOAT debate. So I don't know if he's taking it personally now to show that he should be, but if that's motivation for him, then I'm all for it. I need to see more of these games like this, because the 22-point comeback, the game winner tonight, or the game winner last night, I'm having fun watching this version of KD, and hopefully he can continue it in the playoffs, which is where people sort of down him and doubt him at. But if he can keep this up, I'm watching. Now, unfortunately, when KD hit this shot, I was watching the rebroadcast on the Suns network, and this is no disrespect to the Suns announcers, because I'm sure they have forgotten more about basketball than I could even hope to know. But just like how we critique players for making bad plays or bad shots, I don't exactly love the call that they gave once he hit the shot.
Nurk with the rock. Finds Durant, raising up for the win. Got the lead, but there is 1.6 on the clock.
Now, if you listen to that clip, it sounds like the female announcer, who I had to look this up, by the way. I'm not familiar with the Suns announcer, so forgive me for my ignorance if I don't get these names right. Apparently that's Ann Drysdale. She tries to give it a little bit of oomph to try to send it over the top, but Kevin Ray, when he gives the announcement, he also reminds us that there's 1.6 seconds left in the game, and it's like the ultimate like, come on, man, just, give us the play, give us the hype, and then remind us of the situation. It's like he hit the shot, and then Mr. Ray went in full coach mode. And again, no disrespect to him, I don't listen to him on a daily basis, so I'm sure he's a fine announcer. I thought on this particular call, he actually fumbled it just a little bit. What I would have liked for him to say, or for him to happen, would be something along the lines of, "Oh, what a shot by KD," and then he transitions into talking about, the time left and the situation, all that. But just going straight into it like that, to me, just felt like it took a little bit of the gravity from the moment. Now, my favorite part of all of this is KD's reaction to hearing that Joel Embiid dropped 70 points, because if that hadn't happened, this would have been the story of the night.
I don't know if you saw Joel Embiid score 70. Cat had 60.
70?
Yeah, Joel had 70 today.
58 3.
He had 70?
Yeah. So what did nights like tonight mean in the NBA?
Look at this man. This is a man who is going to get in the gym as soon as he is done with this press conference. The way he lifted that towel up, it looked like he was ready to get some shots up right then and there. Like if there was a ball and a hoop, he would have ran out of that press conference just to start putting up shots. That man is ready. Oh man, it's funny watching this. You could see we don't get to see this too often anymore. Players' reaction in real time. It usually comes from Twitter or something like that, but From my perspective, this looks like a very genuine reaction that KD had. All right, so KD's reaction is the perfect transition right into what Embiid did that pretty much stole the night for everybody. He hit 70 points. This wasn't like the game is well in hand and the other team is kind of like letting you score a little bit towards the end. He was legit, dropping bombs out there and scoring at all three levels. He only shot 2 threes, but I mean, he made one of them, and that got him into the 50-40-90 club, which to me makes this the most impressive out of anything. It wasn't just the fact that he scored 70 points, it was the fact that he was efficient doing it as well. How crazy is it that happened in Kobe's hometown of all places? Because of course it did. Where else would it happen? He dropped 70 points. Granted, it was against the Spurs, who have been struggling throughout the season, but Embiid has been a monster all season long, and I expect that to continue. Now, the questions start to come up about him in the playoffs, but we're not looking that far. We're just going to enjoy this night because the man dropped 70 points, did it with 50-40-90 splits, put the team on his back as he's been doing, and it was quite an impressive performance. Super fun to see, and super happy that his teammates were happy for him as well. It was awesome. Now let's get to the one that I'm not quite as familiar with. I didn't know that this one was happening because of the timing of everything, the way I was following it. I was kind of backwards watching the highlights as I heard that Embiid was cooking in the first half, and then I heard KD was cooking in the first half, so I sort of was checking out those games to see what was going on. In any event, I heard about Cat also having an incredible first half.
38? No! No! Are you kidding?
And then I sort of started watching down the stretch and realized that they were losing at home to the Hornets, which was already strange enough as it is. Then upon further research, I found out that Cat had actually been sitting for most of the fourth quarter because apparently he shot 2 for 10 or 2 for 11 or something crazy like that in the fourth, which is wild to think about. And even with that terrible fourth quarter shooting performance, he was still pretty efficient in getting his 62 points. I heard or read somewhere, I'm gonna try to find the article or the video if I can. Someone had mentioned that it was the weirdest 60-point game that they had ever seen. And I tend to agree with that, because how is it that you're on fire for the entirety of like 3 quarters and go so cold in the fourth that your team actually has to bench you? I don't think I've ever seen a player go for 50 plus and not finish the game. That's one of the stranger things that I've seen happen. I mean, I think he was doing everything in his power to try to will his team to victory. And how gutsy do you have to be as a coach to make that decision with your guy dropping 60 points and you're like, nah, this ain't it, Chief. For me, I don't know. Maybe if the game gets away from you, then you think about sitting them. But for me, if I was in that position, I'd leave him in there. I would be sure that he would figure it out, and he would make some plays down the stretch. I do want to talk about, too, this game could have had an entirely different outcome if not for that last play. It's very reminiscent of the LeBron non-call in Boston, the infamous Pat Bev showing the refs the camera situation that we had last year. He goes up for a layup, clearly gets hit. I mean, it's so blatant that I saw the replay and was astonished that nothing was called, like, at all. And referees have different angles. Maybe they couldn't see, but I don't know. The referees see contact sometimes that they'll look away and they'll see contact, and then once you see the replay, you're like, oh yeah, I can see how that's a foul. But to miss that down the stretch of a crucial game, and like I said, this is not the first time it's happened, so it's pretty concerning, and especially to have his night get spoiled like that. It's a team that they should have beat. The Hornets haven't been playing well. The Timberwolves are like one of the top seeds in the West right now, so they definitely should have won that game, but it happens. They're all NBA players at the end of the day, so you kind of got to expect the best from every team, no matter what their record is. But having the refs take away an opportunity to seize the game is very unfortunate. I hate that so many of these games come down to reffing, which is the least interesting part of a basketball game. It's definitely necessary, and when it's done well, you don't even notice it, which is unfortunate for the refs who, do their job and they do it well. But when something like this happens, of course, we all focus and hone in on it. I don't know the way the game was officiated throughout. Maybe the Wolves were getting a lot of calls that the Hornets weren't, and they felt some type of way and didn't want to try to skew it too much. I don't know. I didn't actually see the tempo of the game or how it was called, but I do know that this, no matter how the game was called previously, is a foul, and Cat definitely should have been at the line with an opportunity to win it for his team. That's the type of thing that can't happen, and I feel like we've been saying that for years now, unfortunately. But what a crazy night of NBA basketball. RIP to the Mamba. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys on the next one.